Welcome back, Guardians. Zeus here. Today we're diving into a titan that could quietly reshape the balance of power, and after testing him at max strength, the results were not what I expected. Some matchups that should have been losses turned into wins, and one hidden mechanic might be the reason why, so if you want to stay ahead of the meta, you'll want to see this. Today I unlocked Tidus along with Jello, and in this video we're going to build him up together from the ground up. I want to walk you through every step so you can clearly see what it takes to develop a brand new summoner titan, and understand where his real power begins to show. We start with the most important foundation, the levels. When I received Tidus, he was already at level 100, but that's far from where we want him. To make him battle ready, we push him all the way to level 130. Those extra levels don't just increase raw stats, they dramatically improve survivability and ability scaling, which is crucial for a titan whose value comes from both summoning and team support. Once the levels are handled, we move straight into skins. Tidus' default skin focuses on health, and this is exactly what you want for a midline summoner. We take the skin to level 60, and at that point alone, it grants roughly 1 million additional health. That is a massive durability boost, and immediately makes him harder to remove from the battlefield. Next stop, artifacts. All of his artifacts were already sitting at level 100, but of course, that isn't our final destination. The first artifact is Tidus' unique artifact. Unfortunately, I don't yet have enough fragments to evolve it, so max evolution isn't possible right now. Still, we don't waste time, we increase the artifact level to 130 to squeeze out every bit of power available while we wait for more resources. Then we move to the water crown. Here, things look much better. I actually had enough fragments to fully evolve it, so we max the evolution first and immediately follow up by pushing the level to 130. This artifact plays a huge role in strengthening water-based synergy, so getting it fully upgraded is a big milestone. The third artifact is the Nature Seal, and you might recognize it from the Asherona and Verdok. Because of that preparation, I already had a solid stash of fragments. Gold became the only real obstacle, I simply didn't have enough, so I had to exchange resources just to keep the upgrades going. But in the end, it was worth it. We fully evolve the Nature Seal and max it out, giving Tidus another significant stat spike. At this point, only two things remain unfinished, the evolution of his first artifact and collecting enough soul stones. Everything else is already shaping Tidus into a serious contender. Let's quickly look at his role. Tidus is a summoner, very similar to Asherona and Verdok. His battlefield position is the middle line, which is ideal, protected enough to survive, yet close enough to influence the fight. Stat-wise, he enters combat with around 400k elemental damage and roughly 97k elemental armor, giving him both offensive presence and defensive stability. Now let's dive into the skills, because this is where Tidus starts looking truly dangerous. His first skill, Jellokinesis, summons Jello while restoring about 2 million health to all allies. That alone is huge, but the real threat is the secondary effect. Any enemy that loses more than 10% of their max health from a single attack receives the fragility effect, increasing the damage they take by 50% for 5 seconds. Think about that for a moment. Once fragility is applied, every follow-up hit becomes devastating. Water Titans already deal strong burst damage, and this pushes it to another level. His second skill follows the familiar summoner mechanic we've seen with Asherona and Verdok. Even with just 2 Titans alive, the team can still activate a totem. That adds incredible flexibility, and prevents fights from collapsing too early. With the upgrades done and the skills understood, it's time for the real proof, battle testing. I'm running these tests at max tech so we can see Tidus at full potential. First matchup, water versus fire. I select 5 Fire Titans and configure their totem with Last Flash and Primal Zeal. On the water side, I bring in 5 Water Titans including Tidus, setting Depth Whispers and Pulse of Ancients before launching the fight. You can see the fragility icon appear. It looks very similar to the Ice Age fragility effect. Whenever an enemy loses more than 10% of their health in a single strike, that icon pops up above them, signaling that they're about to take amplified damage. The fight is intense, but in the end, it's a win. I'm left with only 3 Titans standing, yet victory is what matters. Now let's raise the difficulty, Water versus Earth. Normally, Earth has the advantage here, so I fully expect this one to go against me. I set the proper totem skills and start the battle. And what happens next is honestly surprising. I win. The water team completely eliminates the Earth lineup, something that typically shouldn't happen. My first thought is timing. The Nova stuns are landing constantly, the healing output is enormous, coming both from Tidus and the water totem, and the combined pressure drops the enemy totem incredibly fast. The power spike is obvious. Still, I don't believe this matchup should consistently favor water, so this is something we'll need to monitor with more testing. Next, I try a mixed composition, adding Light Titans to the Earth team to see how the synergy changes the outcome. This time, I lose. And honestly, that result makes sense. What remains shocking is not the loss, it's the earlier victory against a full Earth squad. For the final test, I pit 5 Water Titans against a Fire team reinforced with Light Titans. Typically, Light should provide enough protection to stabilize Fire. But the result tells a different story. Water wins again. This one isn't as surprising because Water often performs well into Fire, but what stands out is the sheer amount of healing. Between Tidus and the totem, the sustain is enormous, allowing the team to outlast damage that would normally be lethal. And that may be the early headline for Tidus, not just summoning power, but relentless sustain combined with damage amplification. And that's Tidus, a titan that brings massive healing, powerful damage amplification, and the ability to swing battles that normally shouldn't be winnable. If these early tests showed us anything, it's that water teams just became far more dangerous. Now I want to hear from you. Share your experience in the comments, so we can learn from each other. If this video helped you understand Tidus faster, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next strategy and testing videos. Stay strategic, keep adapting, and remember, the smartest players are always one step ahead. Salute and friendship.